so proudly we hailed, and at twilight's last gleam, those bright sparks and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets
Why are you not investing? Seriously, why are you not investing into one of the most incredible real estate strategies that's the most active and creates the highest rate of return? Now, I bet you're thinking, right? I don't even know what that is. And even if I did, I don't know how to do it. Why are you not investing?
Good evening and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Trying to make something work and kind of made it kind of awkward there in a moment where it could get something moved, but that's all right. Joined here in the booth tonight with Alex Robinson and BJ Duvall. I'm Steve McMillan. We're here live in Charlotte. We're the Bluegrass Xfinity Series 150 laps tonight. And Alex, when is that stage break?
Steve, that stage break is at lap 60 tonight.
Lap number 60. And BJ, how does the points look coming into tonight?
Points coming into tonight are James Silver's leading the way with Radburn Shutters in second, Adam Lancaster in third, Jim Autumn fourth, and Kyle Mays rounding out your top five here in points, all separated by about 75 points from first through fifth.
All right, as we got right now, Radburn Shutters on top of the chart. Right now, the racing surface, car number 69, Keith Hackney from Calhoun, Georgia. He goes, let's see here, that's his first lap, or on his first lap now, so I'll take that back. But looking back right here at number 15, on his first lap, he goes second quick. Under Radburn Shutters, Sean Kostritza, Jeremiah Hobbs, and Adam Lancaster. Lancaster with 2 wins on the season in that number 17 machine.
Still looking for our video feed.
Well, I can't help it that y'all don't know how to find it, but
But just hashtag blame Alex on that one.
It's always my fault.
Blame Alex. Just blame
But-
Alex.
He's out on track right now to Portland, Oregon. Dylan Merriam in the top five. Hackney, Shutters, Grenier, Kostritza, Hobbs. Kostritza has really been on a bit of a tear lately, finding himself inside the top five throughout a lot of races, just not quite able to get there at the end of the night. But nonetheless, still having a good season for himself in all three series and find himself up front. Merriam's going to get the wall off of turn number 4. It's going to discount his lap here. I have to look, see if he can get a better lap on lap number 2.
And beat this track, Steve. I feel like I told you this multiple times already tonight. I love Charlotte. This track is so fun to watch racing, and in this league, especially, the drivers from top to bottom have always been on key. But short track last week at North Wilkesboro. Now we're at a bigger high bank track here. And I expect the unexpected to happen for some of these underdog drivers.
Me too. That just kind of like froze. Next, coming on to the racing surface at car number 33. From Waynesville, North Carolina, it's James Silvers. James Silvers in a 33 machine. And also a driver with 1 win on the season from Jackson, Michigan, is Jim Alt. Jim Alt in the number 1 machine. He won a season opener here with the Bluegrass. And you talk about it, Alex, you like Charlotte. What are you doing Friday night?
Nothing as of right now.
Well, you are.
Oh. What have I been drug into now?
You be calling another asphalt race Friday night.
What racetrack?
Oh, it's Daytona.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Gonna give me a heart attack watching Pump Drafting 101 and Daytona. Again, we watched it when a dirt guy won Daytona this past weekend. Anything can happen at Daytona, and anyone can win. And Keith Hackney sitting at the top. Jim Ott now going to second quick. They're 30 point. Actually, that's a tie. They're tied for quick time there with a 30.65. So can Ott improve his time here and possibly pass Hackney for quick time?
And it looks like he's shut it off. Coming out of turn number 2 there. So next on the racing surface in car number 2, it's Bobby Mays. Bobby Mays in car number 2. Also on the racing surface, Michael Robinson from Riverside, California in at number 18. And Jason Bridges from Houston, Texas in the 34. Along with Jason Arison. Jason Arison with 1 win on the season.
Quick time! Sorry, I had to. I saw it happen. I had to. James Silvers goes quick time, 30.63 for that 33 machine. So James Silvers now to the top of the board here in qualifying. Hackney to second. Then Ott, Shutters in the 4th spot. And Grenier?
Grenier.
Thank you. That's in the 5th spot. Kostritza holds on to 6th. Bobby Mays just went into 7th with a 30.83.
Just remember this. Whatever I say the opposite, and 9 times out of 10, you will come out perfect. Last season is Chris LeBourgeois, and I probably called his name wrong every race. I even got BJ to say it correctly to say it wrong by the end of the season last season.
He did. In fact, I think we were calling like LeBurgus or something like that, because it had a very strange spelling, but it was Le Bourgeois, which is actually, I think, fun to say.
Look, I feel successful because Sunday night I said Sean Kostritza right, and the guys who have been announcing longer than I've probably been alive couldn't say it right. So I'm gonna put that feather in my hat that I said it right, and I feel accomplished. And speaking of Sean Kostritza, he drops to 7th because Jason Arison there goes to the 6th spot.
You talk about it. Yeah, Sean Kostritza came out on Sunday night, raced some dirt late models. Actually, the Team Watt, 3 or 4 of the drivers from there came out and supported the Millennium Memorial dedicated to my father with the super late model action at the dirt track of Charlotte. So I want to thank all of them asphalt drivers coming out and supporting me and showing support and love I sure do appreciate it. Coming on to the track now, it's Mr. Todd Mays. Mr. Todd Mays in car number 42 in the Bass Pro Shops Club machine. Been away. You talk about asphalt racing, tomorrow night we got the Cup Series here with the Bluegrass. And then on Friday night, we're on the Ultimate Dirt TV channel. It's the World of Thunder Esports League venturing to the asphalt side of things on this Friday night for the trucks at Daytona. 55 laps, Alex, and some money involved.
Oh.
Look, no one tells me like anything anymore of like details of races. So, Steve, give me a second here. I'm gonna look. I gotta find it because apparently it disappeared. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, some money involved.
And it's fixed setup for racing, so get bored on Friday night? Come on out to the World of Thunder and join us live on Ultimate Dirt TV for the Truck Series. And right now we're looking at Todd Mays. He's 19th quick on the board. 19 drivers have timed in out of 32 drivers. Your top 5 look like this: James Silvers, Keith Hackney, Jim All, Ed Radford, Shutters, and Matt Grenier. And your top 5 in qualifying right now. Coming out of turn number 4, down the tri-oval, or dog leg. I know I'm going to say it wrong. Let's see, does Todd Mays improve? He does. He goes 5th quick on his second lap. 19 drivers have timed in tonight.
Steve, don't do that to me. I thought the dog leg was on the road course, and I didn't think we were road course racing tonight. So don't do that to me.
I'm not really sure what they call it here, to be honest with you.
I thought Steve was right the first time when he said tri-oval. That's what I thought it was, and then he said dog leg, and I was.
Charlotte's a quad oval, though.
Listen, it's
It's
better. It's better than the dog leg.
And I don't even have a clue what I'm talking about half the time. All right, here's your starting lineup for tonight's Charlotte 150. Here with the Bluegrass Iracing Series and on the pole. And car number 33 from the Cornerstone Motorsports, James Silvers to his outside, his teammate. And car number 69 is Keith Hackney.
Row number 2 to the inside from J3 Motorsports. It's the number 1 of Jim Ott. Line up to his outside from Cornerstone Motorsports. It's the 3 of Radburn Shutters.
Starting in the 5th spot, it's going to be the 42 from Mays Mafia. It's Todd Mays. To the outside, the 15 for YNH Motorsports. That is Matt Grenier.
And rolled off on your 4th row to the inside and to the out is Jason Arison in the GB Motorsports car number 74. And from representing Team White in car number 46, Sean Kostritza.
Row number 5 to the inside from Mid-South in the 2. That's going to be Bobby Mays. To his outside, the Empire Motorsports, number 19, Jeremiah Hobbs.
Elite Motorsports 17, that's Adam Lancaster. He will start on the inside of row number 6. To the outside, Weaponized Motorsports 38, that's Justin Ray.
And row number 7, the Team Birdie Racing car number 28, Alex Carr. And to his outside, the Empire Motorsports car number 18, Michael Robinson.
Row number 8 to the inside, high side Hustlers, number 34, Jason Bridges. Line up to his outside from Mays Racing. It's the 55 of Kyle Mays.
Starting in the 17th spot, the 12, that's Robbie Richards. To the outside, the 13 of Brian Terry will start 18th.
And rolled off on your 10th row. And tonight in the car number 5 for the Weaponized Motorsports is Dylan Merriam. And to his outside, he hails out of United States in car number 44, Brad Gebhardt.
Row number 11 to the inside, the Aerokinetics, number 92. That's going to be Jordan Slater. Line up to his outside, the Team Builder Racing, number 25. That's Greg Carr.
Blake Hensley will start in the 23rd position in that 31 for Weaponized Motorsports. Starting 24th to 27, it is Matt Campbell in the Aerokinetics 27.
In row number 13, it's going to be the High-Side Hustler Motorsports car number 29, Travis Twitty. And to his outside, his teammate, Tony Iverson.
Row number 14 to the inside, Bluegrass. Actually, he's going to be in the admin booth, so lining up to the inside in that 27th position is going to be High-Side Hustlers number 83, Chris LeBourgeois. And lining up to his outside is the Cornerstone Motorsports number 77, Tyler Evans.
Starting in that 29th spot, the 67, that's Michael Cole. Starting in the 30th spot, the 30, that is Cornerstone Motorsports' Alex Penn.
And rounding out your field tonight. Well, actually, that is your starting lineup because Scott Fritz is not on the racing surface. So, well, lights are out. Who's your picks before we go green flag racing?
Jason Collins. Sean Kostritza, of course.
I'm going Keith Hackney on the front row.
I'm going to go with... Robbie Richards. Why not? Robbie Richards to the win. Pace car is in. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the start for the Charlotte 150 here with the Bluegrass Xfinity Series. Good start there for Keith Hackney on the outside. As they come down into turn number 1, Keith Hackney will lead the way. The 33, James Silvers is second. Radbird Shutters his teammate in third. Fourth is that Jim Alt. So your top 5 and 6 are pretty much singled out, and we're double filed the rest of the way back.
And one thing to keep an eye on this racetrack here, you are draft partners at a racetrack like Charlotte, and you see right now the front 5, maybe 6 cars were single file, all drafting with each other, but you see a 2 tandem drafting through the mid-pack as well. So drafting will be key here at Charlotte, but if you draft too much, that happens. There is contact between the 1 machine there of Jim Ott, the 15 of Matt Grenier, and about, I think, 3 other cars might have been involved there with Hobbs, Mays, and possibly Lancaster got some contact.
Well, BJ fell asleep. Jim Alt now with damage in the rear of that machine as he's balanced side by side with Jeremiah Hobbs in at number 19. But Keith Hackney leads away and pulled away from James Silvers. But right there in Silver's hip pocket is Radbird Shutters. A little further away is Matt Grenier in at number 15 with some nose damage when he got in the back end of Jim Alt.
The 15 machine there of Matt Grenier. He is in that 4th spot. Radburn Shutters in the 3rd spot. Hackney still in front of this field here. As you see, there is some damage on the front of that 15 machine from that early contact here. So we'll have to keep an eye to see if that contact makes a difference later in this race here. But right now that 15 machine is holding strong in the 4th spot there. And you saw that gorgeous camera angle, showed the cars coming out of the corner there. They were all about single file here. Not much battling as these guys get comfortable and try again and find some help to catch up to this pack here. As you see, there might be some battling going on as well.
Everybody continuing here as we come to lap number 5. Everybody continuing to stay calm, though. It does look as though they're wanting to peak, but nobody really pressing the issue. You see the 34 and the 31. That's going to be Blake Hensley and Jason Bridges there side by side. Bridges on the outside as they head down into turn number 3, I believe that was. Still continuing to stay side by side. Everybody else on the field pretty much single filed out. There's another side by side battle a ways back behind them, but coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be Jason Bridges at the stripe. And I really want to know how they made this camera because I like it.
Well, I got a little lost, but we're there. Looking even a little further back, you see the 77, Tyler Evans, and Alex Penn in the 30. There's Jordan Slater in the 92, and Chris LeBourgeois in the 83. Currently running at 29th. There's Michael Cole in 30th. But right now, Keith Hackney continues to lead here at Charlotte. As now you look at 19 of Jeremiah Hobbs. He's caught up to the back end of the 3 of Radbird Shutters. As Matt Grenier is in the 5th spot, with Jim Alt applying a heavy pressure. Now Jim Alt looks to the inside going into turn number 3. They're side by side. Both cars has a little bit of damage. But coming out turn number 4, giving it to Jim Alt for that 5th position. And guess what? Adam Lancaster now is going to look underneath that number 15 of Matt Grenier to take over that 6th spot.
And it's so hard to say Lancaster because in Pennsylvania we know it as Lancaster and it's spelled the same way, so it's bothering me here. But the 17 there of Adam Lancaster, he is in that 6th spot. Jim Ott in front here, but again, you see there is actually a decent amount of damage on that one machine in the back. So it's going to be interesting to see here. And battles are throughout. So again, some single file action though happening here. And Steve, I'm waiting for the big moves to happen. I'm waiting for those big moves. You know, Tony Iverson, he's up 6 already. Lancaster, he's up 5 spots. So there's been some moves. Hobbs up 6. So there's been some movers here, but I think the yet to come is the big ones.
Everybody, you know, you're talking about the big movers and stuff. Charlotte, it's not really known as a track for saving a whole lot of tires, so I expect the tires to be coming into question sooner. I cannot talk tonight. I expect tires to be coming into question a lot sooner than what we have had at a lot of other tracks, especially here in the Xfinity cars. It's much heavier cars than the Cup cars. So everybody's going to play it safer right now, and we'll see later on who has sat back and did everything they could to save. You see the drivers running up on the higher side. That's going to put more pressure on the right rear than it is on the right front. Running on the lower side puts more pressure on the right front than the right rear. So you'll see the effects of who's wearing what tires where and where they're going to aim for to push forward and make these positions later on in the stage.
I feel accomplished yet again. Back-to-back nights, I'm not the first one to talk about tires. I feel better about myself here, but battles still throughout here. Yes, Steve, if you saw those broadcasts, I love talking about tires and racetracks, especially asphalt, apparently.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, man, not again.
Hey, all thing I know, they go on the cars and they help the cars go. Those tires. So, with that much, other than that, someone else is going to have to explain a little bit more. But there is the view of Keith Hackney coming down back straightaway. James Silver's right there in that beautiful number 33 with his teammate. Right there in his hip pocket. Now Jim Alt has taken over that 4th position. And Adam Lancaster now in the top 5. As Jeremiah Hobbs is falling back to that 6th spot. Alex Carr up 6 spots. Currently running 7th in that Team Birdie Racing. Car number 28. Matt Grenier into 15. He's lost 2 spots at the start of the race. Some of that's due to the damage. Sean Kostritza in 9th. And how about Bobby Mays in that number 2 machine? As they head down the back straightaway, he has a top 10 run right now. As 12 laps are in the books, we're on lap number 13 for Mr. Keith Hackney.
Hackney out in front there, Silver's in 2nd, Shutters in 3rd, and that is your 3-car tandem out in front right now, especially that 69 machine of Hackney, who is holding a good advantage with that lead pack over guys like Jim Ott, Lancaster, Hobbs, Carr. That is your pack right behind those top 3, but right now it is all Keith Hackney out in front. That 69 machine looking good. There's that 33 of Silver, Shutters right behind, and then you look a little further back, and there is Jim Ott with Adam Lancaster. Jeremy Hobbs then is that next group behind here. So there is some battles going on. But right now, everyone's trying to make moves. And there you see side-by-side action getting up. That's the 15 machine. That's my time in scoring experience. The 15 machine of Matt Grenier. That's also Kostritza there. Bobby Mays as well in those battles.
Kostritza doing everything he can to hang on to that 8th spot. That's where he started. Right now, he's got the momentum entering the corner, and looks like he's going to have the position off of turn number 4 over Matt Grenier. Grenier's now going to lose 2 spots and fall back in line behind Bobby Mays. Mays, Kostritza will remain in their starting positions. Matt Grenier now falls back 4 spots. He does have damage to the nose of that number 15. You see it pushed in there as we look on back behind to Jason Ayerson in that number 74, now lurking to try to pick up some more spots as well on Grenier.
And looking further back, and that's the 20th and 21st, the battle going on with Dylan Merriam and that 42 of Todd Mays. As Merriam will have that 20th spot, Todd Mays falls to 21st. He's lost 16 spots at the start of the race. And talk about Travis Twitty, right now up 3 spots, currently running in that 22nd spot there. Matt Campbell in the number 27, currently running in 23rd spot. Oh, contact on the wall. That was Evans and the 13 of Brian Terry. They save and keep on going. There's Jason Bridges right there in the 34 machine, currently running in the 28th position. You see the damage on the 34 Jason Bridges machine. As Keith Hackney continues to lead the way here on lap number 18 down the back straightaway. And you see, Silvers is right there ready to pounce in that number 33 machine. Radburn Shutters, so teammates 1, 2, and 3. There is Lancaster and Jim Alt to round out your top 5 here at Charlotte.
Lancaster and Ott, they're leading that second group. They're trying to get some help here to catch up to those leaders of Hackney, Silvers, and Shutters right now. And then you have Lancaster, Ott, Hobbs, Kostritza in that 8 spot, Bobby Mays in that 9 spot. Keep an eye on those two. Those two are interesting to watch right now. They've been holding their own in those spots, staying in the top 10. But then you have Kyle Mays, who's moving up 5 spots into the 11th spot. Jason Arison, though, he is on the downfall. He's down 3 spots from where he started. Matt Grenier, remember, he was just in the top 10. Now he is in the 12th spot here. So keep an eye here on those guys. Remember, some of them had contact early in this race, and that might be playing pivotal here, as well as tire wear here for guys trying to push it a little too early.
And as you see them side by side down the back straightaway, the 44 of Gebhardt and the 31 of Hensley. Hensley on the outside. He's been trying to make some moves and work his way forward. He's up 8 spots right now. Look who's bringing with him. Tony Iverson up 10 spots. Iverson currently lurking right behind Gebhardt instead of going with Hensley. It's a little surprising to see. Possibly that's the line that he's used to on that inside. There's Robbie Richards, slides up, nearly makes contact with Grenier there through turns 1 and 2. He's going to hang on to it. Meanwhile, up front, Hackney, Silvers still running in a tandem right there, about a car length between them. Silvers has not let Hackney get any kind of free range or free space right there. He stayed right in the draft of them. And Radburn Shutters, all 3 of these guys, all been a threat all season long, as well as Jim Ott and Adam Lancaster running right behind them in a 2-car tandem.
Well, so far, 21 laps down. All Green Flag Racing get a caution. And now James Silvers, he is starting to put some heavy pressure side by side, those 2 drivers, for the race lead. As they come out turn number 4, Hackney will have them at the line. Silver's going to regather it back up there, try to get a run on them. But right now, it's Hackney, Silvers, and Shutters, your top 3. Jim Alton, 4th place with Adam Lancaster, rounding out your top 5. Here as Charlotte, as 22 laps are in the books. As they head down the back straightaway, the top 3 have pulled away from your 4th place runner of the number 1 of Jim Alt. There's Lancaster with 2 wins on the season, number 17 machine. There's Jeremiah Hobbs up 4 spots, and Team Birdie Racing car number 28, Alex Carr. Sean Kostritza runs 8th, Bobby Mays in 9th, and Jason Arison with 1 win on the season, currently running in your top 10. Kyle Mays of 5 spots in that number 55 machine, with Robbie Richards of 5 spots. And talk about big mover here tonight in that number 72 machine, Tony Iverson up 12 spots since the start of the race. So good job and good running for that number 72 machine.
And Steve, you saw the battle there when you were leading to the battle for the race lead there. He was looking for probably the side draft there, did not get the run he wanted off of the side draft, so Silvers falls back into line there for that race lead, as Shutters now going to try and give James Silvers a little bit of draft help there, trying to catch up to that 69 of Keith Hackney. But remember here, they are still right behind, and here we go again, side by side they'll go for the race lead here at 33 machine of James Silvers, going to try and get draft help here and try and get to the inside, get a side draft on Hackney here. Not going to get there out of the corner, though, and at the line, it's still Keith Hackney's race. Silvers, Shutters, though, those 2 now side by side, and remember, Shutters now taking advantage of Silvers being out of the draft. Shutters in the draft, now he's up to 2nd. Silvers back to 3rd. Adam Lancaster, though, he is about a 1.5 seconds behind your race leaders there, with no draft help for that 17.
One thing to keep in mind, Jim Ott, Jason Harrison, both these guys down pit road very, very early here in the stage. I'm wondering if these guys are right about 20, 25 laps short of the fuel that they need for the stage. So they're taking the early option to pit to make sure that they have enough to the end, whereas everybody else is looking right now to head for a later pit. Jim Ott, Jason Harrison on pit road on their way out right now. Both took 4 tires, both took fuel, heading back to the track, going after it now. So, like I said, not a track that's exactly known for being a tire save track, a track that's easy on the tires. In other words, it will wear them down. It's not the freshest surface out there. It's got quite a bit of wear, quite a bit of years on it. You see all those little black lines through it. That's where they've had to fill the concrete to seal the cracks, or the asphalt, to seal the cracks in the asphalt. As Radburn Shutters takes over the race lead over Keith Hackney. Pit stops have begun for some of these guys, others still hanging out, but the 30 calls out his pit stop. So there again, wondering if these guys are right about 25 to 30 laps short of what they need for the stage.
Well, that was Alex Penn calling out his pit stop in that number 30 machine. But right now, Radburn Shutters starting to pull away from the 69 of Keith Hackney. You got to wonder, Keith Hackney and maybe the fuel mileage gain, sometimes it's not the best to be leading. Use a little bit more fuel, so why not let someone else take a turn? As Redbird Shutters now pulled away from Keith Hackney and James Silver. Silver's in that 33 machine, currently running a third. There's Lancaster in number 17, currently running fourth. Jeremiah Hobbs sitting there in fifth. And how about Shocker Stritz up 2 spots, currently running in that 6th spot with Bobby Mays right there in his hip pocket. There's Kyle Mays and the 28 coming down pit road. Keith Hackney, James Silvers, Adam Lancaster, Alex Carr, Brad Gebhardt, Blake Hensley, all coming down pit road for their pit stops. As Redbird Shutter stays out, so does Shocker Stritza and Bobby Mays. Kyle Mays, Robbie Richards, Jeremiah Hobbs, Jordan Slater, and Travis Twitty. And Brian Terry all stay out.
So interesting to see here as pit stops begin. You see cars starting to pull off pit road here. And green flag pit stops are a lot more different than those yellow flag pit stops. And the last thing these guys want to see now, especially there goes the 3 machine of Radbird Shutters. So the rest of that group now hitting pit road. And the last thing some of these guys that are on pit road now want to see is a caution flag waving, because that just screws up the whole game plan of pit stop strategy. But now back on track are that first group of guys that pitted. Blake Hensley, it looks like he is going to hit pit road, as he'll be probably the final car to not pit yet. So Jim Ott, it looks like, will be your new race leader as it circles by. So Ott, Lancaster, Harrison will be your top 3 here. And there is some bit of time between some of these drivers here, as actually Sean Kostritza now battling for that 3rd spot, as there is Kostritza. Actually, pit stop still going through here. So going to be interesting to see. So yes, Ott, Lancaster, and Harrison are your top 3 as Dicker shows.
Well, you got to wonder, BJ, did something happen? I mean, when your lead cars came in, Jim Alt, now your race leader, and he's kind of way out there compared to Adam Lancaster. Lancaster came down pit road with Hackney.
It is a little bit surprising to see, sitting here looking at the times, Lancaster has an 8.83 second pit stop, which means he took fuel only with low possibility, but a possibility of right side tires only. So Jim Ott's pit stop, he did pit, let's see, he pitted, where did Lancaster go? Lancaster's back in 4th now, so there's a 4-lap difference between them. That should not have been enough time for Jim Ott to make it around there and gain that much ground on Adam Lancaster, especially with having a 6 or 7 second longer pit stop than Adam Lancaster. So not real sure what the occurrence was there. Maybe spun going in, spun coming out, maybe got stuck in traffic. Not real sure what happened, but definitely an interesting and curious situation.
Well, the one of Jim Ott's race leader, Jason Harrison, in 2nd. There's James Silvers fighting back in at number 33, currently in 3rd. Keith Hackney now in 4th. And Adam Lancaster and Radbird Shutters around Lancaster for 5th. Tony Iverson up 20 spots, currently running that 6th position as they head down the back straightaway. Adam Lancaster now's falling back to 7th after that pit stop. As there's 44, Brad Gephardt 12 spots, Sean Kostritza in 9th. Kyle Mays rounds out your top 10. Then you got the Birdie Racing car number 28, Alex Carr. There's Robbie Richards in the 12 machine. A little further back, see Greg Carr going around to 5 of Merriam. Now Bobby Mays now looks to the inside.
And here's where it's going to get interesting. You see the gap between a lot of these drivers here. Jim Ott, Arison, Silvers. There is over 2 seconds between Ott and Arison for that top spot. James Silvers in about a second behind for second. He is behind. And then Hackney, again, another about second from James Silvers. So with those green flag pit stops, a lot of gap between some of these drivers here. Now it's time to gain ground or hope for a mistake from some of these drivers like Jim Ott, Arison, Silvers, Hackney. But you see the damage there on the back from this camera angle. Jim Ott, remember, he got in that damage there from about lap 5 when there was a 4-car contact. The green stayed out. So Jim Ott now has that contact and that damage on the back, but Jim Ott right now is cruising in the top spot.
Yeah, damage not seemingly hurting him very badly. I'm sitting here watching the times. Jason Arison in second actually appears to be just a little bit slower than what Jim Ott was that last time by. The gap continues to grow just a little. Here's the head through turns 1 and 2, but Jim Ott comfortable with just under a 3-second lead over Jason Arison, but Keith Hackney is trying to reel him in. He's got Radburn Shutters back there behind him and a lap car of Blake Hensley separating him. Hensley is not in a position he wants to be in. He pitted on lap number 30. Hensley, Mays, Penn, Terry all wound up a lap down from that green flag pit stop. It's normally something you see with penalties or cautions coming out during the pit cycle, but a little bit of a different situation here. The only driver that I can see based on two drivers that I can see based on their times that had a penalty would be the 30 of Alex Penn and the 42 of Todd Mays. Steve?
So there you see some cars going at it here. And that's, I hear Steve chuckling, so I don't know what's going on. But there you see the 69 of Keith Hackney. Hackney right now, he is getting chased down. He got by that 31 machine. There's that 3 machine there of Radburn Shutters. He's in the 3rd spot there, trying to close in on Keith Hackney. Remember, Shutters and Hackney, those two were the lead pack cars for pretty much the entire race here. James Silvers, he's a little bit further behind here. He's in the 6th spot, so he has some work to do if he wants to get back in that top 3 with Hackney and Shutters. But Jim Ott right now still a 2-second advantage over Hackney and Shutters, but those two might fall into some drafting here as Jim Ott has no draft help right now. So keep an eye on that time gap because Hackney right now has cut it under 2 seconds between him and Jim Ott.
Well, I can tell you this. The camera BJ Lexus is doing its own little stuff right now. One end to the other. It's neat. Someone he called a cameraman has gone haywire. As you look at the two right there going around us, Bobby Mays going around Greg Carr in that number 25 machine. Now Mays in that 10th spot now. In that number 25 is where lap number 42. Jim Alt continues to lead. There is Keith Hackney in that 69 machine. A pretty sizable gap between 1st and 2nd. Oh, the 3 kind of in the 31 getting in close quarters there. Side by side down the front straightaway in the quad oval. Radburn Shutters in 3rd. There's Tony Iverson currently running in 4th. In that 72 machine up 22 spots. Jason Arison with 1 win on the season to his credit. Currently running in the top 5. James Silvers right up front early in the race. Currently running in 6th. There is that 55 of Kyle Mays and Alex Carr in 8th. Some lap cars dancing in between. I mean, you got Blake Hensley right there running up front at number 31. A lap down in 27th spot as he separates Hackney from his teammate of Radburn Shutters.
And talk about that for a second there. Him separating those teammates, especially when they're sitting 2 and 3 on the field right now, that is costing Keith Hackney some draft help there because Shutters would probably lead to those two catching up to Jim Ott a lot quicker here. But again, remember, we talked about it a few laps prior. That lead was 2 seconds. Now it's under a second and a half. So Keith Hackney and Radburn Shutters are starting to close in on that race leader of Jim Odd. Tony Iverson as well. He is starting to close in up 22 spots. Is that 72 machine of Tony Iverson. So talk about someone who is a hard charger right now. That green flag pit stop helped out that 72 a lot. And that is showing right now as he is in the 4th spot.
Yeah, last time by Tony Iverson was actually the second fastest car on track, it looks like, with a 32.34. I think the fastest car on track being Robbie Richards with a 32.22, running in that 10th spot that last time around. So Tony Iverson is doing what he needs to do. He's reeling everybody in front of him. That last time he hit the stripe just there down the front straightaway, did not gain any more ground on Radburn Shutters up ahead of him. Keith Hackney still being tailed by the lap car of Blake Hensley. Hensley is not typically one of those cars that you see mired back in a position like this early in a race without something going wrong. So you gotta think about that. You gotta keep that in your mind. Consider it. Keith Hackney currently running a little over 0.4 of a second faster than Jim Ott. You see the gap right there. It's closed all the way down to a half a second. I can't help but wonder if his teammate of Blake Hensley is staying behind him right now to push him. And as I say that, he's going to take a look underneath him off turn number 4.
Well, you know, this is kind of, for some reason, Blake Hensley's remind me of Mario Kart. And I'm just waiting for the turtle shell to get shot out and the banana peel to be shot out in the back. I mean, I don't know. I'm just... I mean, if you're in younger days, you know what Mario Kart is. That was a pretty fun game to play.
Yeah, I still play it. I still have my Super Nintendo.
Alex, do you even know what Super Nintendo is?
I'm
you
gonna
ask Alex that. You just made me feel old asking Alex that.
How about Atari, Alex? Have you ever had a Atari?
I still got
that too.
Never had one. I've played it before because we have a lovely arcade that has old games, so I enjoy it.
All right. Well, right now, Keith Hackney is close up to the back bumper of that 0 watt of Jim Alt as we're on lap number 49. As Hackney's searching around a little bit, seeing where Alt is, needs to improve, but now he pushes up on the exit of 4, and it's going to allow the 30 watt to look inside momentarily. As lap traffic ahead of Jim Alt.
And while Steve catches his breath, that rear end damage really has to be a huge factor for Jim Ott with the time difference between Hackney and Ott. But Ott, with the lap traffic, all he's got to do is stay smooth and work his way through traffic better than Keith Hackney does. And as I say that, he's going to slide up and open the door for Keith Hackney. Hackney at his rear tire now, down the front straightaway. Jim Ott's going to hold on to it at the stripe, but just barely. Hackney's not going to follow Grenier on past Campbell. Hackney, our race leader, and he's going to bring the lap car of Blake Hensley with him. Hensley just continuing to stick right there between his lead lap teammates of Keith Hackney and Radburn Shutters. Ott now under attack from Radburn Shutters. Shutters going to have the position going into turn number 3.
And you talk about the lap car being there, but guess what? It just added more of a draft partner for Keith Hackney. Now he's going to try and get by his teammate to get back on the lead lap. He will get by Hackney now, as now here comes the 3 machine there of Radburn Shutters. So now we will have the top 2 back where they were and back to drafting like normal, but also company is in hand here as Ott, Tony Iverson, all 4 cars are closing in on each other here, but that's about it. Kyle May is still back over 3 seconds behind your top pack. And then you look that pack is about another 4 seconds in front of Alex Carr and Robbie Richards. So there is some big gaps between the rest of your field after you look at that top 4 pack.
Everybody now starting to single file back out. I can't help but wonder if Blake Hensley stuck there to help push Keith Hackney to the race lead. Once he got to the race lead, Hackney knew he was free and clear with the clean air and let Hensley get around him to get his lap back. So it doesn't look as though Hensley is pulling off from Hackney. So I think there was some camaraderie there. I think this is 2 teammates working together to get Hensley back in this race if we get a cautioner at the stage break. As we're closing in on 5 laps to go. Right now we're at 7 laps to go. When we hit the stripe next time, 6 laps. So the stage break coming very, very soon. And somebody just caught out their pit stop. It sounded like the one of Jim Ott. 74 of Jason Harrison also caught out a pit stop. These guys happen to come down. 72 of Tony Iverson heading down towards pit road.
And this is not what they have wanted to do. Well, I don't know. I'm
going to go ahead and tell you what I'm seeing just happened. This is what just happened. Those guys pitted about 5 laps sooner than Shutters, Hackney, Mays. Those guys all in the top 5 right now. I think they pitted 5 laps too soon.
Well,
Mays up into the wall.
Yeah, because the stage break's coming up. The stage break is on lap 60, and well, that's coming up very quickly here. So,
big oops.
But this is the thing, though. They're going to be up front once the stage break is up.
No, they're actually a lap down now from pitting. They just went a lap down, so they will not be up front. They're going to have to go around and get the free pass and restart at the rear of the field.
They need to start using their turtles, that's for sure. Radburn Shutters coming out of turn number 4 through the quad oval here. In at number 3, your race leader, Keith Hackney, in that second spot in the 69. All spaced out. There's 3rd place right there. Bobby Mays in the 55 machine. James Silver's in 4th. There's Alex Carr in the Team Birdie Racing. I always want to say the little Team Birdie Racing. I don't know. But it's the Birdie Racing there in the 28. And there's Robbie Richards of 12 spots, or 11 spots in a 6th position. And how about Greg Carr in that 25 machine? He's up 15 spots in 7th. There's Bobby Mays in 8th. Jeremiah Hobbs, he's in 9th. And rounding out your top 10 is that number 46 of Sean Kostritza. So both of the Team Watt cars are in the top 10 as we're on lap number 58. Coming out turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Radburn Shutters. There is Keith Hackney in 2nd. And there is Bobby Mays. That is your top 3 here in Charlotte on lap number 58.
And Radburn Shutter snuck his way by Keith Hackney when we weren't looking there and is already up to a 2-second lead. I think Radburn Shutters was able to save his tires a little more than Keith Hackney there. 2 laps remaining here on the stage. Pit road has just closed, if I'm not mistaken, but Radburn Shutters set to go and get the stage win here. He's absolutely flying right now at number 3 compared to Kyle Mays, who's now taking over the 2nd spot over Keith Hackney.
Major problems for Keith Hackney. I don't know what's going on with that 69, but he's losing spots, and he's losing spots very quickly. As
I think he pushed too much. I think he's running out of fuel himself there and having to pace himself.
Hackney pitted 1 lap prior.
He is, in fact, you just saw the clutch right there, dropped all the way down 2,000 RPMs. He is clutching that car. He is about to run out of fuel. He's just trying to make it to the stage.
And the biggest thing is that 1 lap difference. I think these guys... So 60 laps as the stage break comes. 60 laps. The guys who pitted on lap 30... I want to know how much fuel they have left, to be honest here. That's the big thing. I want to know. That's the biggest part. I don't think they have much fuel left. So they pitted on lap 30. So now 30 more laps go by here. You see the guys who pitted, who pitted a lap or two earlier than lap 30, they had no choice to either clutch it up and hope and pray that they can make it to the stage. And Hackney made it to the stage and got stage points, still finishing 8th. But, or you had to pit early and cost yourself stage points. So now, I want to say...
There's Bobby Mays down pit road.
So what? You'll have two or three pit stops for at least fuel come till the end of the race. Especially if we go green flag racing here, you're looking at about 2 to 3 pit stops here. And BJ, I have a feeling we're in for what we've had the past 2 weeks, and that is a great finish of someone's going to try and push the fuel and either make it and run out of gas, or run out of gas and not make it to the finish line.
Well, BJ, let me ask you this. What's the penalty for drivers coming down pit road when the pit road was closed because they had to make a pit stop, like Alex Carr, Greg Carr, and Hackney?
That is the end of the longest line penalty. An EOL penalty for those guys. They're going to have to restart at the far end of the field, even behind lap cars. If anybody remains a lap down, it looks like there will be Jason Bridges, Todd Mays, Matt Grenier, Dylan Merriam, Alex Penn, all lap cars that came down pit road. So those guys will remain a lap down from this caution. And that is where they will have to, those guys had to start behind all of the lapped cars. So it's going to put them behind the 8-ball. They're really going to have to work on it. So saving fuel, making it to the end of the stage, it might have been a good idea to do that just to stay on the lead lap. But at the same time, I think I would have stretched it out the first time to be able to split it in half.
Well, coming off pit road first will be Radbird Shutters, James Silver second, Robbie Richards third, Greg Carr and Bobby Mays. Kyle Mays listed as your race leader right now, and at number 55 machine. So, BJ, did Kyle Mays make a pit stop, or did he?
Kyle Mays did, in fact, make a pit stop. He took 4 tires. He took fuel. He just managed to make his way down pit road and back off pit road. I started to say a little bit better, but it looks like Radburn Shutters is going to make his way forward ahead of him. So I think Radburn Shutters is going to remain the race leader. James Silvers makes his way past him as well. Troubles here for the 44, Brad Gebhardt.
I'm not sure.
Take another look at this. A car out of fuel, so it sounds like he ran out of fuel before he made it down pit road.
Yep. So the 55 is going to the tailback after all said and done. As now Radbird Shutters is your race leader with Silvers, Richards, Mays, and Hobbs. Round out your top 5. You got Christensen, Ray, Carr, Mays, and Hackney.
Steve, did you just say tailback?
Tailback. Going to the tailback. You know, dirt track themes. That's what you say
Steve.
when someone gets a black flag. You know, and let me tell you what they do.
You go to the tailback of the field.
You go to the tailback, and you're official. You know what you do? You show the driver your butt. You pat it on the back. That tells them to go tailback.
Steve, when you say tailback, stop. Remember, I've coached football for 9 years. When you say tailback, I think of running back, and then I go into football. Stop.
So when you do it in football, do you turn around, show them your butt, and pat them on the butt, just tell them to tailback?
My head hurts. Oh, what am I going to do with you two?
Jeremy Vaughn knows. They do that.
Where's Brett Wheeler when I need him?
So Radbird Shutters, your race leader. So quite a few people gone to the rear. Be Keith Hackney in that 69, one of the drivers. You know, all we need now is someone lifting the skirt and sticking the snoot in. And you know what the snoot is, right, Robert? I mean, Robert.
I hope he's calling you Robert.
Alex.
Wow.
I'll rename you after the race, but in the race.
What? Wow. At least
all right, Steve. Last week I renamed him BJ, so I think I became Alex something. I'm not really sure.
Well, and apparently to Bill Miller and Donnie, I'm apparently Mr. Asphalt. I don't know. I've been called so much that I'm so confused.
And guess what? He learned it all from me.
But I think this is all Steve's fault. At the end of the day, I feel like this mostly is Steve's
At
fault.
the end of the day, this time by.
It's lights out. Can I do my favorite thing?
Yeah.
BJ, you know I had so much fun doing this the past 3 weeks.
All yours.
Oh, thank you. We're going into 3 and 4. Yeah, that's 3 and 4, correct? Yes. This is what happens when I get so excited. Pace car getting ready to head off. Slowly getting ready to head off. I don't like how slow the pace cars are half the time, but pace car heads off. We head to the Geico restart zone. Shutters, silvers in the restart zone, and green flag back out in the air here for the remaining. We're under 100 laps. I think it's like 90 some laps, 80 some laps maybe, but shutters and silvers. Single file already into turn 1 and 2. Steve, yeah, you're going to have to tell me how many actual laps are remaining because my math is not good.
85.
Thanks, BJ. I'm a dirt guy. We usually stop at 100.
We go to 100?
Ratbird Shutters out front with James Silvers, Robbie Richards, your top 3. And there's Bobby Mays in that 2 machine currently at 4. Shocker Stritza battling with Jeremiah Hobbs. Stritza looks to the inside of Hobbs there. Hobbs looks like it's clear, but here comes Stritza battling back out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Some good racing going up in the top 5 right now as they're side by side going into turn number 3. If you're a Keith Hackney fan, he's currently running in that 14th position right behind the little team Birdie to car number 28 of, let's see, that is Alex Carr.
28, yeah. Why is my thing? I see it now. Okay.
Right now, coming out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, Shutters, Silvers, teammates 1 and 2. Then you got Team Watton in 3rd place with Bobby Mays. And then Robbie Richards' teammate, Shocker Stritza, right now in the top 5. And we haven't talked about him all night. He's been running towards the back. That number 92, that's Jordan Slater. Jordan Slater at Aerokinetic, car number 92, having a good run in the 2nd stage of the Bluegrass here at Charlotte. You're watching live on Ultimate Dirt TV simulcast live on the Bluegrass Facebook page and YouTube and dirtfan.com.
All right, now this Cornerstone, World of Thunder, Maze, and World of Thunder, your top 5 as caution flag is going to fly. I believe this is for the first time tonight, isn't it?
It is.
Blake Kensley down in the grass spins around. See if we can't get a look, see what caused him to go down. It looks like he might have got some contact from Jim Ott from behind right there. Whoop. And our replay is going haywire on us there.
It looks like he might have slipped on his own banana peel.
Maybe. I think he might have got a little bumpy bump there. Got a little bump to the left rear. And a little bit right there from Jim Otten, the number 1. Just got him a little bit in the left rear quarter. That is the call being made. See if Jim Mott cops the penalty on this one here and is sent to the rear. But currently your top 5 is Radburn Shutters, James Silver, Sean Kostritza, Jordan Slater, Tony Iverson moves into that 5th spot as Robbie Richards went down pit road, so he gives up that number 5 spot. Great Car stays out as well. Jason Ayerson stays out, so he should be making his way up through the list here in just a moment.
BJ.
Alex.
We or Steve too. We did the same oopsie again, and I started talking, and I was talking for a good minute and a half till I noticed my lights weren't up, and then I was like, "Oh, we're on mute again." It's been a long
right.
day. It's been a long
All
day. I'm
right.
pushing wrong buttons. This is why I can't. Steve, this is why we keep you in charge of producing or BJ in charge of producing, because I push the wrong buttons.
No. Don't put me in charge of producing. I can only see 28 cars.
Well, I can tell you there was 30 that started the race.
I know. That's why I look at your screen.
I mean, Steve is one of the OGs here.
A little bit crazy.
Very
That's
true.
all right. A little bit crazy.
Very true. I still don't know why I can't see all the cars because I even did a fresh uninstall and reinstall and it still won't let me.
Well, see, this is the thing. Alex got to start broadcasting with me, and that's where he got his debut in announcing, and then he went to real life. And, you know, my start was with Brett Wheeler with Rated R Wednesdays. I think that's the only league that we got fired from, but it was fun. Won't mention the league's name, but it was called Rated R Wednesdays, and it was quite fun. And we had, let me tell you, we used to have around about 60 people joining the chatting us all night long. It was the greatest thing. And yeah, we called it Rated R, and the only reason why, because the words that would come out of my mouth were not like, it would be like the F-bomb and stuff. So I've calmed down quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
We had lots of fun being Brett, but
That was in Steve's younger days when he was wild.
yes, we're about 6 years ago. But we had to follow it. I will tell you that it was on dirt track, and they've come to us all the time. And that's when iRacing first went to dirt, and there was caution after lap after lap after lap after lap. So lots improved on the dirt track side of things.
Yeah, I think back then the super late models were a lot faster and had 2 gears and everything. It was. I would have liked to have raced back then, but at the same time, from everything that I've heard and everything that I've seen, we wouldn't have really got a lot of racing in. It's just been beating and banging and wrecking and spinning. Apparently, the late models were a lot more difficult to handle.
And that's where this guy told me, a deer came on the track and took out the radiator. And I asked him what kind of effing drugs he was on. And it was at the dirt track in Charlotte. I remember that. And Brett started laughing. It was funny. So, yeah, back then, it was crazy. It was fun. And let me tell you, that's where all the UniTV got to start. It was kind of fun. I will say that. It was too much laughing and not enough announcing, but I can tell you, we had people come back Wednesday after Wednesday just to watch.
Look, Steve, I've learned many times, especially from you, if you don't have a good time announcing, you're not doing something right. Because if you're not having a good time, the people listening aren't having a good time. And BJ, it's time. Lights are out. We're going through 3 and 4, and it's time to go back green flag racing here in Charlotte. And the only way to do that is through my favorite zone, and that's the Geico Restart Zone. I sound like we're freaking going green, white, checker.
We'll call it.
So help me God if we go green, white, checker tonight. Pace car is off into the Geico Restart Zone. We will head its shutters, its silvers yet again. Green flag back out on the speedway. Shutters, silvers, lead them into turn 1 and 2. Single file, we will go in the top 3 yet again. So shutters, silvers, Kastritza, they will go single file into 1 and 2. Is actually, we're going to go single file for the top 5. And then there are some battles there with Carr, Richard, Mays, Hobbs. Those battles will continue as they head into turn number 3 and 4. 2 by 2, they will go in the mid-pack. The top 5, though, are single file and some distance between the top 5.
Definitely right now, Shutters leading the way with Silvers in second. Cody says, wait, we're supposed to be wild in our younger days. That is true, Cody. That is true. And age will mellow you out. That's for sure. I am a true example of that, too. So, Radford
Yes.
Shutter starting to pull away from James Silver's teammate. And look at Sean Kostritza. Has made his way up into the top 3. But here's Jordan Slater to his outside. Kostritza now thinking about looking to the inside of the 33 of Silvers. As we're almost 3 wide at the start-finish line. As we come into turn number 1 there. Kostritza and Silver side by side. Kostritza pushes up a little bit. Maybe a little bit of right side romance, some left side love it out. Turn number 2 down the back straightaway. A good battle for your second spot as Jordan Slater right there in third gets a little love tap. Woo. The snoot was given to Jordan Slater, and now the little Team Birdie is flying. The car number 25, a Greg Carr round.
Yeah, that caution coming out from the checkup up ahead. They saw Jordan Slater sideways. They had a little bit of help from behind, but he's able to save it. Good job by Jordan Slater. But everybody else in the checkup behind, just kind of accordion effect, and around it went the 25. We'll take a look at the instant replay right here.
Maybe.
Well, we'll see here. Right there it is. You see the contact that sends the 92 going, and then the checkup. Just one car after another. Robbie Richards into the back of the 25, and around he went. It looked like 25 might have made contact with the back of Tony Iverson as well. So everybody just kind of stacking up right there in the checkup. Really, I believe this would be more of a racing deal. But unfortunately for Greg Carr, he's going to get the short end of the stick on out. And pit stop's underway now. Looks like might be Robbie Richards leading the charge down pit road. Our top 5 now. Shutters, Kostritza, Silver, Slater, and Robinson. And what a race we had going under that green flag, that short green flag stint there.
Looks like some drivers coming down pit road did receive some damage under that caution, or under that wreck, as the second caution will fly on the night. As Matt Campbell giving a wave around, he was the lucky dog under this caution. Well, you know what? I wonder if Jason would give us a rated R day.
That would be fun. To be allowed to say whatever I want, that would be... You might as well just mute the mics. I'll talk all night.
I sadly will not be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, you can't get fired for Flow Racing just yet. You got to at least be on it. Okay?
Well,
yes, exactly.
it's not just that, but it probably would be a good idea to have Alex involved in that one if I'm on the mic for a rated R night.
Well,
love you, Alex.
I mean, if we're doing that and we're doing road course racing, I could have a blast. But
Next
like
Monday.
Steve, find a happy place. Find a happy place. We're not 1 to green yet, so I can't find my happy place in the Geico restart zone.
Little surprised to see Jordan Slater coming down pit road here.
So,
Sorry to interrupt you, Alex.
He needs tires.
So, is Jason talking on the comms?
A little bit, not a whole lot, because he does not have spectator mode on his chat tonight. Disadvantage to joining as a driver.
Let's see here. So, is he not talking right now?
No, not at the moment.
All
More
right.
damage this time.
Jason.
Yeah.
You're live on Ultimate Dirt TV. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. So we got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Can we have a rated R night?
Probably not. Probably not.
You just, the fans right now have just gone sad. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, probably not for sponsor reasons.
Well, Alex can't do it because he can't get fired from Flow Racing just yet. He has to at least make an appearance.
Who is it?
Alex Robinson.
Oh, okay.
The guy right above you in here.
I can't be fired before we start.
Gotcha. I got you.
We're going to throw you down there. We're just having a little fun here.
CN4 sounds like a good one, guys. Appreciate it.
That is the owner of the Bluegrass, Jason Collins. Yeah.
Friday night at your own.
No.
It's our own Steve Friday night, rated R.
No, you can't do. Lord help me. Lord help me, please.
Lights.
Yay! I'm
Lights,
finding my happy place.
lights are out.
Sorry, Steve. I didn't mean to cut you off.
We're fixing to go back. When they're racked and stacked, they're fixing to go back green flag racing out turn number 4. We missed Sunday night. Jerry Van Sickle to call on Ultimate Dirt TV with what's his
Sean.
Sean. I'm looking at Sean on the
Sean-
thing. I'm like, that's not his
John
last name.
Neestad.
Sean Neestad.
Sean Neestat from
Man, we had
Houston's?
we had a Dirt Vision guy. We had the guy who called the Dome. Yeah, Jerry referred to calling the Dome, and then I was like, okay, we're referring to calling the Dome. Okay, I called Charlotte. I win.
It's not as famous.
Speaking of Charlotte, we're at Charlotte. Pace car's about to go in, and it is time to go back to the green flag racing, and that only goes through one thing, and that is the Geico restart zone, and that gets this thing back underway, and it's Sean Kostritza. Radburn Shutters on your front row here for this restart. Silvers, Iverson in row number 2. Pace car is off and into the Geico restart zone. Green flag waves, and we are back underway here. Shutters and Silvers single file it out yet again, going into turn 1 and 2. Sean Kostritza right there in that third spot. He has some help, though. Jeremiah Hobbs right there as well. But Kostritza, he's going to go a line up there a little bit, try and get to the outside of James Silvers. Not going to get there here. So now Kostritza, he's going to go to the inside here, as it looks like Sean Kostritza might be playing a little mind games there with that 33 machine of James Silvers, because now you got a new car in the second place, and that's that World of Thunder Esports car of Sean Kostritza.
Kostritza showing a lot of speed right now, but the camaraderie between Silvers and Shutters on that restart allowed Silvers to jump ahead. But the speed that Kostritza has right now, it's just absolutely tremendous. But the one thing that it always comes back to, Alex, is one of your favorite things, is tires. How much pressure is he putting on tires by driving the car as hard as he is? He's running really good, really fast right now. But he's got the dirty air. It's going to make it harder for him to catch up to Radburn Shutters, so he's going to have to push that car harder than Shutters will if he wants to catch up to him. Meanwhile, behind, everybody is back there lurking. Jeremiah Hobbs all over the back bumper of James Silvers. Tony Iverson, the man charging through the field all night long, sits in that 5th spot. He wants to make more passes. He wants to find himself in the top 3. Here comes Keith Hackney coming past his teammate Blake Hensley on the inside. Hensley, good rebound from being a lap down earlier, since back in that 8th spot inside the top 10.
Definitely some good racing even mid-pack there. We saw 2 and 3 wide. And that was with Tyler Evans, Jordan Slater. Slater right now running at that 11th spot. All contact a little bit between the 38 and the 30 of Alex Penn, or 28 and the Alex Penn there. There's Greg Carr at 25 and Alex Penn. They're still side by side. We haven't talked much about him lately. That number 17 of Adam Lancaster with 2 wins on the season. A lap down in 20th position. And right behind him is the 34 of Jason Bridges, Matt Grenier, Travis Twitty. But right now, Radburn Shutters is under attack for the race lead as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, caution is flying.
Caution flag flying over the field once again here on lap number 85. We'll take a quick look here at the NLRA instant replay. Not who I thought was going to be in it there, the 42 around. Who was that that made contact up ahead of him? I see he's at 55. Dived clear to the inside. I believe it's 55. Here we got the 13 of Brian Terry on the inside. There's Robbie Richards facing the wrong direction, sliding down the track. You see he's got his his wheels are not turning. He is just straight sliding right there. Got that thing locked down. Oh, look, even further up ahead, James Silver's going around. Looks like this is just a one right after another.
All on the track.
Oil on the track. Everybody going around.
Kinda
Blake
like
Hensley even had contact started to go.
Kind of like our rain delay last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed our rain delay last week.
No,
Alex.
I didn't. No, I didn't. Remember, I brought you sodas.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
I stopped up during the commercial break and brought you some sodas.
Yeah.
But you know, we're at Charlotte, so it's a nice, refreshing Coke tonight. Speaking of, I'm going to go grab another one during this caution break, so I'm going to go slide 5 feet to my right and grab a Coke.
As caution is on the racing surface. As we're on lap number 87 out of 150. It's going to be Radbird Shoulders, Sean Kostritza, Jeremiah Hobbs, Keith Hackney, Tony Iverson, your top 5 here right now.
Nice, refreshing Coke. Steve, I wish you weren't so far away or I'd give you one.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
BJ isn't that far away, but I'm not giving BJ a Coke.
Just trying to get some updates here. One of the Mays brothers being sent to the rear. By the way, it sounds by iRacing
Pit
itself.
stops.
Trying to determine what is going on there. And pit stops are underway. Looks like being led by Adam Lancaster there.
Steve, I have a feeling. Remember how I said find a happy place? I have a feeling some of these drivers, after going green to the green checkered of stage break, now to having 4 cautions here in the remaining race.
Yeah.
Still 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Currently, I'm sitting here listening to race control. Jason Collins not very happy with the drivers. This is our 4th caution, about 28 laps time, he said. So
I'll give
definitely
the
not
boys
real
some
happy
credit.
with these guys.
Give them some credit. They went almost 40 laps without a green flag or without a caution.
They went 60 laps
They
without
went
a
60.
caution.
60. So 160, it's okay. I'm joking.
Well, I mean, they did have a really good stint, but cautions have bred cautions.
I'm just waiting for someone to go through the dog leg just to make me happy. That dog leg is treacherous, though, Steve.
You know,
running
I'm kind
running
of
the
upset.
roll. It's
Brett Wheeler is not watching us. He's watching.
I know. I'm biting my tongue, Steve. Don't bring that stuff up to me. I am biting my tongue.
Yeah. We're going to have to fire him, and he owns the damn thing. Lights are out. We're fixing to go back to Alex's favorite part of the race as they're racked and stacked here at Charlotte.
Man, this is Steve's first asphalt race with me, and he already knows what my favorite part of the race is. I love it. Well, that and green, white, checkered. Steve knows. Steve, I'm pretty sure ever since that first broadcast with you, that curse was active because we had 3 green, white, checkers that night that I broadcast with you on the opening night.
Yes, and it was dirt street stocks.
Dirt street stocks and then dirt super late models. But here we go. Get ready to go back to the green flag shutters. Kostritza on the front
not
row.
very.
Meh.
There's just something so satisfying about Alex getting his hopes up. Yeah.
The
Lights came back on. There's just something so satisfying about hearing Alex get his hopes up and then hear the frustration when it all goes away all at once. It's just so satisfying.
How about Trey Mills in the Majula C Speed Shop Get Back Classic right now, battling with Payson for the race lead? I believe this might be a heat race, I believe.
BJ, I'm gonna hurt him. I'm gonna hurt him, BJ. I'm gonna hurt Steve, BJ. There's a conversation that's gonna be had after we go off air there, Steve.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
But lights are out anyways.
But you're here with us. So
I hope the lights stay off because my Geico restart zone is coming up out of turn number 4. We're going to try this again. It's Shutter. It's Kastritza. I feel like Kastritza is the first person that is not named Shutters, Hackney, or Silver on the front row for a restart here tonight. So let's try this again. Shutters, Kastritza out of turn number 4. Those two will be leading the charge in a turn 1 and 2 here. Let's see how the jump gets. But Pace Car getting ready to duck off. And he does. Is he? Pace Car is off. Geico restart zone. And a green flag is back out. Great jump for Radbird Shutters. Shutters and Hackney. Hackney, oh boy. That was a little sketchy there for that 69 machine of Keith Hackney as Hackney gets by Kastritza here. But Sean Kastritza on the outside, one of the only cars right now trying to make it work there. He got left on the outside during that restart, but now he goes side by side there with Keith Hackney. That battle for your second spot. But Radburn Shutters, he is out in charge of this one.
We'll look at George Slater at 92. He's back up in that 4th position as the battle heats up still for that second spot between Keith Hackney and Sean Kastritza. A little further back, you see Tony Iverson currently running a 5th, battling with Blake Hensley in that 31. Hensley to the inside of the 72. Side by side out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway. There's the 18 of Michael Robinson. Robinson in that 7th spot. Then you got Bobby Mays in the 2 and the 33 of James Silvers and Matt Campbell. How about Matt Campbell? Got the lucky dog a couple cautions ago and now running in the top 10.
He's been quietly lurking his way back through the field after getting the lucky dog. Finds himself in 10th spot, just staying nice and calm right now behind the 33 of James Silvers. Sean Kastritza now on your screen. Took a look to the high side of Keith Hackney, but that did is open the door for Jordan Slater. Slater to the inside. He ends up backing off, and caution flag is going to fly here once again on lap number 93.
Well, that number 19 of Jeremiah Hobbs stuck his snoot underneath the skirt and around a went that 83 of Chris LeBourgeois. Bring it out. I believe that's the 5th caution of the night.
See, I'm so happy you two say his name because I am terrified to say it.
Actually, it's the 4th caution of the night.
Yeah, fourth caution of the night, and you afraid of calling them Laborgis?
I don't even want to know how I would pronounce that name.
Le Bourgeois.
Look, it's brutal enough.
Sounds
for me.
kind of bougie.
It's brutal enough for me calling Lancaster.
Lancaster.
The PA Dutch of me is like eating away my soul right now every time I say it.
Oh, I know. I've been ridiculed before for calling Lancaster, PA. I used to call it that a lot.
I'm pretty sure I criticized you about that the one time too.
I did it just to get at you because I know it's Lancaster.
Well, pit stops are underway with some drivers down pit road. Bobby Mays, Jim Alton, Justin Ray, Robbie Richards, Tony Iverson, Greg Carr, and Tyler Evans, all down pit road.
Steve, if we ever have a tribute race for BJ Duvall that BJ Duvall, ever wants, I'm picking the track and the car.
That
And
means
BJ Duvall, because it's a tribute race, BJ Duvall has to call the race. And the best part is, BJ, I will put 100
Wait, what?
laps.
a tribute race on his own. Is he going to call
Yes.
from heaven?
Yes.
Oh.
No, I didn't say memorial
That's what
race.
I
I
was
said
wondering.
tribute race.
Oh, okay.
Why would you do it? Tribute for me.
But BJ's going to call it, and it's going to be NASCAR Cup cars at Le Mans. Enjoy.
No.
55 laps to go here, Charlotte. Under our fourth caution of the night.
But
German
also-
Vaughn says, "Oh no, dirt track racing for Alex."
I'm being bullied. I don't like this. I'm out of my elements.
He wants to make more passes. He wants to find himself better. Mr. Asphalt. He wants to make more passes. He wants to find himself.
Steve McMillan has carried this broadcast because Steve is just that good.
Where did that carry?
They're only. Only guys towards the back of the field took it down pit road during this caution. Adam Lancaster was the lucky dog for Radford Shutters, Keith Hackney, Sean Kostritza, Jordan Slater, Blake Hensley, remain your top five. Michael Robinson, James Silvers, Matt Campbell, Kyle Mays, and Justin Ray, your top 10. And Steve, another driver we haven't really talked a whole lot about tonight, Justin Ray in at number 38. He's been having some good nights here lately this season in the Bluegrass Xfinity Series, finding his way up towards the front. Another driver just not quite able to make it happen tonight. Been lurking nice and quiet, working his way through. Sits in that 10th spot right now, 2 spots from where he started this race.
Definitely. Well, I'll make a prediction. Alex, we're coming out turn number 4. I bet you the lights will go out and it'll be your favorite time of the night.
Steve's just trying to put me in a happy place. I love it.
Hey, at least our trading paints are working.
Steve, you're my hero for that. Oh, lights are out. It's time to go back racing here. We're closing in on 100 laps down, 50 more to go when we get there, and this is going to get very fun, very interesting. Well, it's been fun all night in the booth here, and I hope everyone enjoys. And if you do enjoy, please like, please subscribe, please follow, do it all, and make sure you press the notification button to hear Steve McMillan or BG Duvall or myself or Brett Wheeler, because we're all here at some point throughout the week here on Ultimate Dirt TV. But lights are out. We will go racing out of turn at number 4. It is Hackney and Shutters. I feel like I've said that about 14 times here tonight because these two have been up front most of the night. But here we go. There's the tunnel. I love that camera, how I can see the tunnel of entering into the infield. But here we go. We'll see a bunch of Toyota. I think it's like the third Toyota logo we see. Second or third one we see is when we go back racing or the pace truck goes off. There's the first one. There's the second one. I don't think there's a third one. There might be a third one over in that wall. But pace car heads off. We head. There's the third one as we head into the Geico restart zone. Shutters Hackney.
Well, that's a fancy camera.
Green flag is out, and Steve McMillan, you could have showed me the Geico restart zone cam like that real quick throughout the night, but we do it now, and look at Shutters. He's going to go right to the bottom side. Hackney going to follow. Well, Hackney was following side by side, and now he's dropped back a little bit, and Sean Kostritza is right there in striking distance of the 69.
Well, you look at 69, BJ, he entered in the middle groove there, and that's 46 is coming to the inside. Does he have anything for the 69 at the line? Side by side? Well, Sean Kostritza is in that second spot, BJ.
Nick Stritza took that inside line away from Keith Hackney, got the spot. Now he's bringing Blake Hensley along with him. I thought Hensley was going to stick behind his teammate of Hackney there and push Hackney forward. Hackney looks a little off pace as he's continuing to lose spots. Now here comes James Silvers on the inside. A little contact going on a little further back. Caution flag is now going to fly. The admins do not sound happy.
Well. Oh.
Ooh. There's some hard hits on that one.
Pretty sure I preached it all night. I think the admins and about 3 or 4 of these cars involved need to find a happy place or think of their.
And Tyler
That was
Evans.
ugly.
What occurred there, Tyler Evans went to duck to let the lead lap cars go by instead of holding his line up towards the wall, and at the exact same time, the 34 Jason Bridges went to duck as well to go underneath of him, and just was not happening there, and yeah, they kind of met there, so I believe 77 of Tyler Evans for not holding his line for the lead lap cars to come by. I get the feeling he's going to be the one called for that one based on what I heard over the radio. But nonetheless, great car. Tyler Evans, Brian Terry, all the guys involved, Adam Lancaster, all the guys involved went down pit road.
Trial restart. One.
Try to get some repairs done on their cars.
Here's Radburn, Shutters, Kostritza, Hensley, Silvers, Hackney, your top 5. Here's Charlotte.
And I get the feeling Hackney got a bit out of the... I get the feeling Hackney got a little out of the groove there and a little out of rhythm right before that caution flew. So this could be very beneficial for Hackney to get that number 69 back underneath of him, back rolling the way that he wants it to, and get this race going back for him, trying to make his way back up into the top 3. Sits in that 5th spot right now, lost several positions very quickly, 2 of them to 2 of his teammates. Kostritza, the lone non-Cornerstone Motorsports driver inside the top 5 right now, packed right in the middle of them.
Well, I think they're doing it because they know it's Alex's favorite time of night every time they restart. I mean, personally.
you personally.
Well, now here's a dilemma for you.
Yeah.
If you're Radburn Shutters, both cars in the second row are your teammates. If you've been choosing your line based on where your teammate was lined up behind you to be able to bring them with you on the restart, time it with them, and bring them with you on the restart, where do you go this time?
James Silvers.
Go with James Silvers. All right.
Sorry.
That was a really quick call, Steve. That was a really quick call.
If it was me, I would go with James Silvers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, those two have been racing together. We saw it all last season, 1 and 2, all night long. It seemed like almost every single week last season. This season, a little bit more spread out. They have a lot more teammates out there with them. I could definitely see that call. You know, they're used to racing with each other, used to pushing one another. I could agree with that call.
Yeah. I mean, or why not go with Blake Hensley? I mean, yeah, go with Blake Hensley. And
Right,
it looks like he's doing that. And so this is why I said go with Blake Hensley, because we know James Silvers is a good pusher. Dog's having a little fun back there.
I want a dog. I want a puppy.
But-
I feel left out. I'm the only one in this broadcast booth that does not have a pet.
Well, the reason why I personally would have went with Blake Hensley on this one here is because it also puts Keith Hackney in that three-car tandem to the inside. If he went to the outside, it would have been 2 on the outside, 2 on the inside. So I have to agree with the call to go to the inside and bring 2 of your teammates with you and try to go nose to tail and bring all 3 of you guys to the front. Could also allow them to create a gap between 2 of them and let James Silvers come down with them and make a 4-car line to push forward.
That's true. That's true. You know, I've hit my button like 3 or 4 times and nothing is working. Now it's working. Alex.
Yay! Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
So there's the first Toyota sign. Lights are out of turn number 4. We will head into the Geico restart zone. And there it is. The great camera shots brought to you by the producer himself of Steve McMillan. Pace car is in, heading into the Geico restart zone. It shutters. It's Kostritza. Green flag waves, shutters with a good jump there. Kostritza not so much as now. He's going to look to duck on the bottom side here as there is a look on your race leader of Radburn Shutters. So Shutters, Kostritza, and Hensley is your top 3 here. Hensley on the bottom side. Kostritza up top. Kostritza looking to make that more of a top side work at this racetrack. Going to be interesting to watch that 46 do it.
46 absolutely flying right now. You saw him pull up to the back of Radburn Shutters a little bit there through 3 and 4. That high entry, low exit really allowed Kostritza to gain a lot of time on Radburn Shutters through turns 3 and 4. This time he sticks it down low, and Radburn Shutters is going to pull the gap from him just a little bit. The outside line seems to be the way to go as the 31 of Blake Hensley now starting to fall back. 34 of Jason Bridges calls out a pit stop. He'll be heading down pit road this time by Blake Hensley's going to make his way back past Keith Hackney. Hackney trying to make it dig on that outside where he just was moments ago. But Hensley starting to find a groove on it inside. I think starting to push back forward on him. They better be careful because they've got Jordan Slater lurking behind them.
As it comes down the back straightaway, Shutters, Kostritza, and Silvers, because Shutters pick up the win tonight. You know, he was looking for his season to be turned around in that number 3 machine. He's had some strong runs. This not the finishes that team would have wanted. And now, Kostritza's under attack from the 33 of James Silver. Silver still is inside as they go into turn number 1. Side by side, give it to the 33 of James Silver. So he will clear the 46 as they come out turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Here comes the 69 of Keith Hackney. Now looking to the outside of the 46.
46 coming down pit road, just calling out his pit stop. He said he's going to be coming down this time, but they're looking for him to make that hard break and left-hand turn down pit road. There he goes to the apron, everybody coming by him. So he's going to give up that top 3 position and head now more than likely a lap down by the time he comes out of pit road. Radburn Shutters, James Silvers, Keith Hackney, Kyle Mays, Blake Hensley, and Jordan Slater is now your top 6. Jordan Slater battling side by side with Blake Hensley. Nearly 3-car battle right there as Jim Ott wants to stick his nose in the mix.
There you see the race leader, Radburn Shutters, has that 33 machine of Silver, Hackney. And the top 3 are back together, it seems, here as Shutters, Silvers, Hackney. That's the 3 names we were talking about in stage 1 of this race. And now they are back in the top 3 there. And actually, side by side for the race lead was Silvers and Shutters there. So battle up front they were going. And now Silvers is the race leader. Shutters in that second spot. And battles will continue as looking to see if Keith Hackney closes in and Shutters hits pit road.
Well, you look right now, you look at the wad of Jim Alt. He got some damage repaired on the rear end of that vehicle in the number 1 machine. Now currently running in that 6th position as he just got around Blake Hensley in that 31 machine. Right behind him is Michael Robinson at 18. Driving Toyota, 1 to 3 drivers driving it, or 4 drivers driving Toyota here tonight in the Bluegrass Xfinity Series. Matt Campbell in that 27, currently running a 9th of 15 spots at the start of the race. Good running for him. But Tony Iverson, He's in the top 5 up 21 spots in that 72 machine. He's kept that car clean all night long. And you know, one of the drivers I'm missing tonight is that number 7 machine, BJ.
Yeah, where is Justin Winters? I just not like him. I think this would be probably the first race that we've seen him miss in 2 seasons, Steve.
Yeah. Now it's kind of watching another chat somewhere else, and someone's like, hit Control C, hit Control R. Please hit the right one. So that broadcaster, hit the right button. Do not get ejected from the race.
Oh, Lord.
Right now, James Silver's way out in front here on a Sunday drive on a Tuesday night here at Charlotte. There's Kyle Mays in that second spot. George Slater now in the top 3 battling with Jim Alt. And there's Tony Iverson. A little earlier, you know, we saw Shaka Stritza going down pit road. He is a lap down, currently running in 22nd position. And so how about Keith Hackney now? Currently running in 6th. So since the start of the race started on the inside, that 3rd spot of the 2nd row has fallen back to 6th position.
He's had a lot of forwards and backwards tonight. You got to remember, coming to that stage break, he ended up running out of fuel and had to come down pit road before pit road actually opened. So he found himself mired all the way at the tail. Okay, found himself mired at the tail end of the longest line. He's had an uphill battle, but he's back up there in the mix of it as he runs in that 5th spot. And right now, looking at it, he's losing ground to the 3 cars in front of him, being led right now by Kyle Mason. Second as there's a battle now for that 3rd spot. Tony Iverson wants it. He's been the Charger here tonight, heading it across the stripe. He's going to have the 3rd spot over Jim Ott. Ott tries to battle back around the outside through turns 1 and 2. Looked like a little bobble out of that number 72 on the entry of the corner there. That opened the door for Jim Ott to retake that position. But Iverson is not giving up yet.
And now I think time will soon hit here for pit. Actually, I wouldn't pit yet. I would not pit just yet. I would go. BJ, you're more of a pit expert here than I am, but I would say pit around, I would say 130.
I don't know. I wouldn't call me a pit expert. I'll lose all my races on pit road.
Never.
Don't worry, that's why I'm going to lose the race next Monday night after I leave here, after I leave calling the truck race. I'm going to go and probably lose the race on pit road myself. So I wouldn't call me the pit expert.
Oh, Steve.
If you read the bottom of the picture I just sent you, Alex, they're telling them how to restart the trading paints. Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in?
At that point, you might as well just press Control, Alt, Delete, or Alt F4 and call it a night. But guess what? The guys that are up front, Silvers, Mays, Ott, they don't want to call it a night because they've been doing pretty well here, except for Jim Ott when he was lapped down on pit strategy there. But he's back up in the top 3, so you never know what can happen. Tony Iverson, he's in that 4th spot. He's up 22. Blake Hensley and Matt Campbell plus 17. They're closing in on top 5 spots there for those 2 drivers. So still some moves can be made. There you see the one machine of Jim Ott trying to go after that 55 machine there of Kyle Mays.
Tony Iverson in that 4th spot, BJ. Look at him. He's closing in on the rear of that one. Looking to the inside out, turn number 4 down the quad oval.
And nearly identical at the stripe between those 2 drivers heading in turn number 1. Tony Iverson's going to have it. But, you know, one thing I got to think about, though, Iverson is not known for being able to save his tires. He's really quick on these early runs on his tires, but he's not been a driver known to hang on to his tires for a long time. I expect the way that he's running to see him start falling off pace and right about 10 laps from now, if not sooner. So he is now gaining on Kyle Mays up ahead of him little by little to try to go after that 2nd spot. very, very quick, doing a fantastic job right now, but he's going to have to play this smart. He's going to have to be easy on it and not push too terribly much.
Definitely. As Silvers continues to lead the way in that 33 machine. The 55, Kyle Mays, Tony Iverson, Jim Alt, and Jason Harrison to round out your top 5 here is Charlotte with the Bluegrass Xfinity Series. A little further back, you see Bobby Mays, Blake Kinsley, Matt Campbell, Justin Ray in 9th, and Greg Carr round out your top 10. Michael Robinson making his way down pit road to make that pit stop, as we are now just a little shy, a little under, with 29 laps to go here in Charlotte with the Bluegrass Xfinity Series. So we know your front has to make one more pit stop, BJ.
Yeah, be expecting to see the 33 come down this time and give up that race lead. I believe I heard him calling out just a moment ago. That's why I paused. He still has not come down, so I'm not really sure when that's going to be. Iverson running in that second spot right now, and he is considerably faster than the 33. James Silver's up ahead the last time by at the stripe, over 3/10 quicker than James Silver's. More pit stops still being called out. You got the 55 of Kyle Mays, 27 of Matt Campbell down pit road right now. Jim Martin, the number 1, starting to come down pit road. Jason Harrison now coming down pit road.
And the real question that I have, will this be the last round of pit stops here? I think so.
It's going to be close.
Well, it is Bluegrass, and these guys like to push the limits and push it to the end. So we are going to have a fun time calling the rest of this one. But Silvers, Iverson, and Mays, those guys, especially Silvers, who hasn't pitted since lap 87. Question is, when will he pit? I would say you have to pit before lap 130, especially if it stays clean and green till the end, because you will have to make a lot of ground up come near the end of that race here. But looks like, let's see here, does the 33 hit pit road, or is he going to stay out? Round 3 and 4, he's going to hard left turn. Oh boy. He comes.
He's safe.
I don't know. Is he safe? Did he hit?
Okay.
Did he hit speed? Did he hit pit road speed?
He definitely tried.
I think it came very close there.
Well, also down pit road is the 31 of Blake Hensley, his teammate. James Silver's teammates, both of them down pit road. As the 72 is your race leader. That is Tony Iverson. Second is Bobby Mays down that number 2 machine as he comes down pit road. Heavy on the binders. Make sure he's in the speed when he comes to the cones. Greg Carr now moves up that 3rd spot in the number 25. And how about Justin Ray in that 38 machine? Currently running in the top 2. And right ahead of him. There it is. That is the 72 of Tony Iverson, your race leader. Here at Charlotte with 25 laps to go. As they come out of turn number 4, be 24 this time. Iverson, Ray, Carr, Lancaster, and Grenier round out your top 5. Then you have Radbird Shutters there battling with Keith Hackney. That's a battle for 6th to 7th on the track. And to be honest with you, the top 5 still need to pit.
And
yeah,
right
Iverson
now,
will be coming down this time. And to answer the question moments ago about James Silvers, he did make it down to pit road speed by the time he hit the cones. Just barely, but he did make it down by the time he hit the cones, so he did not receive any kind of penalty there. But Iverson down pit road is going to give the lead over to the 38 of Justin Ray, Greg Carr, Adam Lancaster, and Matt Grenier have still yet to pit. And down comes Justin Ray, Greg Carr heading to the race lead if he does not come down pit road, and he did not. So Adam Lancaster stands to become the race leader once Greg Carr comes down pit road. And actually, Greg Carr last pitted on lap 100, so it'll be a little while before he comes down.
And right now what those guys are hoping for is they're hoping for a caution. Or at least I would think you were hoping for a caution. Is my mic Oh, there we
Yep.
go. Now we're good. Sorry, everything just happened not to be lighting up at the same time, so that was my concern. But it's back working on my end here. So Greg Carr, Lancaster, Grenier, those 3 cars still will have to pit here. I would say you got to pit soon. You cannot wait till the last minute to pit because at this point in the race, that might be costing you a major good run. As you see, Hensley, Bobby Mays, 31.8. They're running their best times of the race here, 31.18, 31.13 for Bobby Mays. So they're running their best laps of the night right now, late in the race here. So I would watch out for some of these guys here who are took tires with draft partners. Those guys are going to be dangerous here as you want to keep with your teammates at this point.
Definitely, as you look as they come out, turn number 4, Kyle Magnus in the 55 machine, side by side with Jim Alt. It's a battle for 6th and 7th on the track, right ahead of them is the 34 Jason Bridges, 3 wide there. And looked like Jim Alt did back out of it. And they get around the 34 of Jason Bridges. Adam Lancaster now coming down pit road along with Matt Grenier. Now Keith Hackney, he's looking to move up in that second spot as Greg Carr is the only driver left to come down pit road. And once he does, that will hand the lead over to that 69 machine of Keith Hackney. Radbird Shutters running in second. Kyle Mays in the 55 in third. Then you got Jim Alt and James Silvers. Greg Carr down pit road. So Keith Hackney, when he gets to the start-finish line with 19 laps to go, will be your race leader. Down pit road is Grenier, Lancaster, Carr, Twitty, Bridges. Hackney now is considered your race leader. Radbird Shutters coming across the start-finish line. Kyle Mays third. There's Jim Alt. So basically your top 5 right there. Shutters bobbles a little bit. He's going to lose some ground. He's fallen back to 5th. And now allows Kyle Mays to 2nd. Now, Alt and Silver still balanced side by side as Matt Grenier made his way back onto the racing surface in that car number 15.
And just sitting here looking through the pit laps, the 3 of Radburn Shutters, last pit on lap 109. He's going to have to come down again. I don't see him making it to the end of this race. Sean Stritzer, 107, who have to come down as well. Jordan Slater comes down pit road right now. Keith Hackney, our race leader, pit on lap 116. So that means he would have to make 35 laps on his fuel. That would be one of the longest runs we've seen anybody do yet tonight. So he's going to be cutting it really, really close if he's able to do it. And I don't think he's going to have enough of a lead over James Silvers to really consider backing off and saving fuel and still getting a race win.
Well, this is the question. You become a trendsetter and start to pit now? Just in case you have green-white checkers? So that way you're not mired in the back? I mean, you got a little room to wiggle up there?
Green, white, checkered. I am here.
That's the reason why I mentioned it.
I'd say pit now. If you don't think you're going to make it, I'd say pit now. But knowing how it's going to work, everyone's going to push it till the last second at this point now.
Well, there's Keith Hackney. Matt Grenier getting a lap back the hard way, getting around Keith Hackney. But you better watch out because here comes James Silvers in that 33 machine in the hip pocket of Keith Hackney. Silvers coming on strong. Hackney goes a little wide. It's going to allow Silvers to the inside. Now James Silvers to the race lead. Alpha turn number 4, Jim Alt. And it's balanced side by side with Chris LeBourgeois, who's a lap down. LeBourgeois running in that 23rd position.
So Silvers, Hackney, Ott, Mays, Hensley, your top 5. Shutters in 6th. Sean Kastritza, he's back in the 12th spot there after that last round of pit stops. But here's the thing. Kastritza pitted on lap 107 here, so it's going to be fun to watch here. Can Sean Kastritza last here? Especially another one, Radbird Shutters, 109 pit stop for him. Can they last? I don't think so here. It's going to be a very, very, I think maybe a lap close as Kastritza in.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. To answer your question, Sean Stritz is coming down pit road right now. It just called it out there while you were talking. He's going to head down pit road. It's going to end up marrying him a lap down here in just a moment. Right about now, Sean Stritz is going a lap down to Justin Winters and the rest of the field. I don't think Keith Hackney's going to be able to make it either, Alex. You're talking about Radburn Strutters. We know he's not going to be able to do it, but I don't see Hackney in the 69 making it all the way either. Riding right now in that third spot. You tell he's hanging back. You tell he's taking it easy, running like he's on fuel save mode. But Radburn Strutters, I thought Radburn Strutters just calling it out, but that was not his number that he called.
It's I think if which did you say Shutters is hitting pit road? No.
Oh, I think Shutters is listening to the broadcast because he just called out again. Shutters is coming down this time.
So Shutters going to hit. I'm intrigued if Hackney hits as well, because if Hackney and Shutters hit at the same time, keep an eye again. For guys that pit now, it's like you gotta go with someone. It's like pitting at Daytona. You gotta have partners with you, especially this late in the race. You gotta have some draft help, or you're in for a troublesome time getting to the front if there is not a caution. But right now, Silver's, I even think they're gonna cut close, very close. If they don't start saving a little bit here, they're gonna cut very close to not making it too.
Well, if you look at it, Silver's last pitted 15 laps ago, so he should be good.
Yes. Silver's is good to go. Silver's Ott, Mays, Hensley, Iracing, everybody left on track that has everybody left on track on the lead lap except for Keith Hackney. Should be good to go.
Jim Alt, off of turn number 2, he got really squirrely. Got a little loose there, running in second in the number 1 machine. But here's Keith Hackney in the 69. You got to wonder, when he let off trying to save some fuel there, try to make it 34 laps on a tank of fuel. We know the first time he went 31 laps and ran out of fuel when the checker flag was waving. There's Kyle Mays currently in that 4th position. He is digging it deep down the back straightaway. He wants the top 3 now. He's thinking about looking to the inside as they go into turn number 3. He just does not have the momentum on his side.
And Steve, can we go in car with Hackney this time by? I want to see how much he's letting off going into the corners here. Yeah, BJ.
No, he's not saving.
Thanks, BJ. You know better than I do.
He's not saving at all. Right now, he's on older tires. He's gonna have to slow down a little bit more than you would typically see. On fresh tires, they'll keep their RPMs right about $7,000, $7,500. Right now, on the older tires where they're at, you're gonna see them right about between 5.5 and 6.5. And Keith Hackney running right dead center of that right now with $6,000 RPMs. On entry of the corner, so he's running right about typical for the older tires that he's on, and very surprised to not see him in save mode as Kyle Mays is going to get past him, and some good camaraderie there for Keith Hackney, telling Kyle Mays that was a good pass. Hackney's going to go to the inside, Iverson to the outside. Now Iverson's going to find himself inside the top 4. Here comes Keith Hackney. Told you he wasn't going to be able to make it. Just 6 laps to go. He's going to end up finding himself a lap down by the time he comes out of pit road.
Hackney, though, I don't know. Is he going to take tires? That's the real question here. Does he take tires, or is it just going to be a fuel stop for that 69 machine?
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't matter. You're going to be the last car on the lead lap if you can even get out on just fuel in time to not go a lap down. And at the pace that James Silvers is running, he's going to end up putting Hackney a lap down anyway. So you might as well take the 4 tires. And it looks, based on the time that Keith Hackney is still on pit road, it does appear as though Keith Hackney is taking 4 tires.
Well, 5. Oh, go ahead.
I think the best thing now, sorry, Steve. I think the best thing now is he needs a caution.
Well, right now, Tony Iverson's made his way into the top 3 in that 72 machine, up 23 spots since he started the race. And look at Blake Hensley. He's made his way into top 5. So Jim Alt in second place there with James Silvers out front on a Sunday drive on a Tuesday night here with the Bluegrass Xfinity Series. 4 laps to go for him to pick up that win. Jim Alt in second. There's Tony Iverson starting to pull away from Blake Hensley and Kyle Mays. Hensley now takes over that 4th spot as Mays falls back to 5th. Jason Harrison in that 74 machine currently running his 6th. Bobby Mays is 7th. Matt Campbell in 8th. Michael Robinson in the 18th, currently running 9th. And Justin Ray rounding out your top 10 here at Charlotte. 3 laps to go for James Silvers in that 33 machine at Quarterstone Motorsports.
You know, laps are starting to wind down very, very quickly. James Silvers, nice and easy now. He doesn't have to push too hard. He's got almost a second over Jim Ott at the moment. Ott running right about a 10th quicker than the last time out stripe. We'll see here if that remains the same. But just 3 laps. I don't think that's going to be enough time for Jim Ott to catch him. Just don't make any mistakes for that number 33. Nearly identical lap times that time. Just 6/100ths of a second difference between those two. This race is Silvers to lose at this point.
Definitely down the back straightaway with 2 laps to go. James Silvers, Jim Alt starting to close in the gap slowly there as they head into turn number 3. Jim Alt, he won the season opener in that number 1 machine. He can feel it. He can smell it. Can he get around that number 33 machine? White flag in the air. Alex, it's all yours.
Silvers, Ott, Iverson, your top 3 as they head into turn 1 and 2. Jim Ott right now, he is trying to close in on that 33 right now of Silvers. They go down the back chute into turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Silvers right now still has almost a half a second advantage over James Silvers there, and it looks to be just enough. They're going to go by the Geico restart zone one more time. James Silvers wins at Charlotte. Jim Ott second, Tony Iverson third, Blake Hensley and Kyle Mays your top 5. And talk about big movers. Iverson plus 23, Blake Hensley plus 19, Kyle Mays plus 11. Those 3 cars, big movers into the top 5. And then 6 goes to Jason Harrison, Bobby Mays, Matt Campbell, Justin Ray, Michael Robinson, your top 10. So some good runs here, some good redemption weeks for some of these drivers as top 10 finishes for drivers like Matt Campbell, Kyle Mays, Blake Hensley. So some good runs here for drivers. But James Silvers in the 33, he takes home the win. And there is your final result. So Silvers, Ott, Iverson, Hensley, and Mays, your top 5. Harrison, Mays, Bobby Mays, Matt Campbell, Justin Ray, and Michael Robinson is at top 10. Then Greg Carr in 11th, Adam Lancaster 12th, Matt Grenier in 13th, Radburn Shutters in the 14th spot. Keith Hackney will come home in 15th.
16th will be Sean Castressa, Jordan Slater in 17th, Alex Carr in 18th, 19th be Alex P. and Todd Mays in 20th, 21st be Chris LeBourgeois, with Dylan Merriam in 22nd, Brad Giphart in 23rd, 24th be Jason Bridges, 25th be Travis 20, Michael Cole 26th, Brian Terry in 27th, Tyler Evans in 28th, 29th is Robbie Richards, and Jeremiah Hobbs round out the 30-car field as Scott Fritz and Jason Collins did not make the start tonight here with the Bluegrass Xfinity Series. We'll be right back with post-race interviews. Welcome back to Ultimate Dirt TV. Post-race interviews. Almost got confused here, looking in the wrong spot. And let's see here. Alex Robinson caught up with your race winner.
coming home with the race win, that 33 machine of James Silvers. We just talked to you, feels like about 24 hours ago. And this time it's another win for that 33 machine. Talk about a strong race week for you. Do you think this momentum is going to keep running throughout the rest of the season here?
Well, I hope to maintain the speed every week because, I mean, tonight I wasn't really the fastest car, just had the perfect strategy. I mean, I did get the pole, but Hackney and Radburn, they were a little bit faster than I was. And so for me to go off the strategy and being able to get it like that, was pretty nice.
I need to talk about pit strategy playing into your favor here tonight. I feel like the past few weeks, pit strategy, fresh tires, or fuel is always the name of the game for some of these guys. And tonight it plays into your favor. What was going into your mindset there in those final few pit stops? Did you think you would have enough coming in after that last one? Or did you think if there was another caution or two, you'd have to pit again?
Well, the caution before everything or the two cautions before the last caution, we had ended up pitting and having to save enough gas to be able to go through when everybody else had to make a green flag pit stop. And I mean, it came through perfect. That's why I was telling everybody, my strategy is going to work. Everybody else on my team was praying for a caution. I was like, but it's going to work for me. So hopefully, let's just not have a caution, and that's what happened tonight. So. Yeah, hopefully we can keep this momentum going, man, because being the points leader right now and winning this race again and putting some more playoff bonus points on there is, really good. And hopefully I can carry my momentum into tomorrow in the Cup race.
Well, we know you got a lot of great sponsors and great teammates helping that number 33 machine. Take some time and thank them here for getting in victory lane.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody at Cornerstone and Weaponized because we put in some good practice here before today's race, and for us to be able to bring home this win is pretty special. I'd like to shout out y'all for putting on the broadcast. Y'all do an amazing job every week. I'd like to shout out my girlfriend Shelby. I love you, baby. And it was a perfect day today. Just everything was perfect today. I'd like to shout out everything, all the sponsors that help everything at Weaponized and Cornerstone. W Energy, if you use the code Cornerstone at WGG, you get 10% off of your whole purchase. Function Junction Smoke Shop, Mountain View Detailing, Area Professionals at WNC, Team Goon Squad, Brent Keith at BK Paints, and Rocky Boyd and Will Weber for making us paints, and everybody at Cornerstone and Weaponized, It's just a great team, and hopefully we can keep our momentum up and keep everything rolling.
Well, that is your winner here tonight, the 33 machine of James Silvers.
Yes, sir. Let's go celebrate, boys. Y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Yes, sir.
All right, Alex Robinson interviewing your race winner, James Silvers. Well, Tony Iverson coming home, but in that third spot there, up 23 spots at the start of the race. He kept that car pretty much clean all night long. Congratulations with a top 3 finish.
I know. I finally get to talk to you guys. That's awesome.
It is. It is. A little different, huh?
Yeah, no, I mean, I really think I had a chance at this one too. I slid through the pit stall on my last stop and cost myself like 2.5 seconds and ended up losing by 1.5 seconds. So I think this was my chance, but I'm still happy to come away with the podium, and it was fun.
It was. Yeah, I think the last time we talked to you, you was actually in the booth with us.
That is exactly the last time we talked.
And last time we talked, you were waiting to become a father. Now you're a father.
Yes.
So how's that life going for you?
A little less time to practice, but everything else is awesome.
Well, tonight, we went 60 laps, green flag, and then after the stage break, it was quite a few cautions that throw your night off, or that really help you.
It was just nice to not be involved in one of them this time. I mean, usually that's the name of the game for me, as I've been finding my way into trouble this season, and this has always been one of my favorite tracks, so it was nice to finally be able to turn some laps. And although the green wasn't as much as I'd have liked, because I really liked the long run on this track, it was still a good beginning and a good end, I would say.
Definitely. Go ahead and thank those fine sponsors making it all possible.
Well, first I got to thank the wife, because she goes and handles the little gremlin while I'm doing this. And then I'm going to go ahead and thank Highside. Those guys are awesome. It's really cool having them chilling with me during the race and everything. And And honestly, any podium or anything I get through here, I'm gonna probably have to dedicate it to my dad. He passed away in early December. So I put him on the hood of the car, and I know there's a lot of people involved in the league going through similar kind of things. So, it's kind of a shout out to all of them that, I get it. It sucks, but we'll get through it. And yeah, thank you guys.
Well, Tony, I could tell you this. I lost my father 2 weeks ago, so I feel it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're one of the ones I was referring to. Yeah, it's rough.
It is. Well, go ahead and thank those fine sponsors making it all possible for you.
It's just going to be the high side hustlers. Thank you guys, and hopefully we can do this again next week.
All right, that's Tony Iverson coming home in third place tonight. Thank you, Tony.
Yep.
All right. Well, we do not have our second place finisher, Jim Alt, here in the post-race booth. So I'm Steve McMillan along with Alex Robinson and BJ Duvall. We'll be back tomorrow night with the Cup Series here on Ultimate Dirt TV. The Bluegrass Xfinity Series here tonight, and James Silvers was victorious. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, good night and God bless.